Good afternoon. Today you find me halfway between Manchester and Sheffield on the A628. I'm in a lay-by at the moment and I've just had a quick cup of tea. The plan in the morning is to get up on the Bleaklow plateau, which is something I did about 6 months ago. I want to do it again, but this time I'm going via a route called Wildboar Clough, which looks to be a bit of an animal. There's some pretty harsh climbing bits on it, so fingers crossed it's within my capabilities tomorrow. I know that a lot of you think that I haven't got any friends because I do all these trips on my own. That's not true. I've got loads of friends. And just to show you, I'm meeting one of them today. And he's going to come along with me. Oh, over here, mate. Come on then, let's get going.
We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building them castles in the sky, just the two of us. You and I.
Okay, so I eventually got here. Reasonable little park up off the main road, runs along there. There's a bit of a river and a weir runs adjacent down that side, and that's the direction that we're going to be going tomorrow morning. So there you go. Good morning. It's 20 to 8 and I've had to crack on this morning because the van was surrounded by midges and I got attacked as soon as I opened the door. And they filled the van, so I don't know what it's going to be like when I get back. This is the Longdendale trail. I've got to go down about a mile and then sort of shoot off left up onto the plateau. Quite a big electric station there. So onwards and upwards. Quick shot there of the Woodhead reservoir. Quite a big piece of water there. Shame about these power lines, but I've got to go somewhere, I suppose. And this is, you can just see the top of the plateau there, which will be going up a little bit later on. As I say, this first stretch is fairly mundane. It's just a straight trail, but you've got to do it to get there. See you in a bit. Okay, after a lot of messing about, backwards and forwards and changing my mind, this is the entrance to Wildboar Clough, or one of them. Just all past this waterfall. So, for one reason or another, I'm running behind schedule a little bit. Had a bit of misdirection. Decided to go one way and then change my mind. So this is where we're going now. This is something you don't see very often. I'm not going to use it. Okay, so finally, after a lot of faffing about, I've dropped into Wildboar Clough. I was stuck on the top ridge path there, but I've worked my way down to the bottom. I've missed a little bit of the rocks, but not much. So let's see how bad this really is. Right, That's not been too bad up to now. The two main problems appear to be at this time of the year, fly on the camera, are flies, and some of the stones are a bit greasy and you can catch yard. Not only is it the stones, but your shoes, your boots get greasy, and then you put your foot on a dry stone and still slip, so you just got to try and use the edges of the stones instead of the flats. Well, that's where I've come, and that's where we're heading. It's not too bad. Some of it's a bit, I've had a couple of moments, but see how we get on. Okay, it's starting to get a little bit trickier. This side's a bit mossy, so I'm going to walk between those two. Okay, just coming over the lip with the first waterfall on Wildboar Clough. I don't know if you're getting that. And then we've got to go up to the second one, which is up there, which is supposed to be harder than the first. Had a bit of a slip on that first one, so I don't know how I'm going to manage on this one. Right, this is the plan. I think this might be the wimp's way out, but I'm not going up the middle of that. Well, firstly I'll get drenched, and secondly it's too slippy. So I'm going to try and make it up this bit here, and then walk along that ledge there, around that corner, if you can see that, onto the top. So we're going to give that a try. Apparently there's 3, not 2. And this one's probably harder than the other one. Right, that was number 3. And let's just keep things to round numbers. There's number 4, which I was not expecting, and if I'm brutally honest, I think it's probably beyond what I can do. But I'll get a bit of a closer look. Right, I managed to get up there. It's I didn't take the route right up the fall. I went up the edge. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how well it's coming out, but I came up this back edge because the middle of that fall is beyond me. Right, I definitely think I've approached this Wildboar Clough from the wrong angle. I've come from the east car park, and really I should have come from the west side of it, because it's meant it's quite a round trip, and then I've got to walk all the way back down that Longdendale trail on the way back as well. I did it because initially my idea was to park in that other car park, but because I slept there last night I thought, oh, I'll leave it, I'll go from here, and it wasn't such a good idea. But you live and learn. Also, coming up here I've got no real indication of where I was supposed to hop out, and I've missed the ridge back, so I've got to walk across the moor a bit to go and find the ridge again. And as I've said in previous videos, it's quite bleak up here. This is quite a cool little bit, in the middle of all the bogs and that. Well, it's quite near the edge of the ledge actually. There's this set of stones, and it's got all like little nooks and crannies. If you're struggling, you can spend the night in here. And then if you look down here, there's a great big pit. It's not until you eat one of them flapjacks on a big flat rock that you realise how much mess we actually make when we eat. There was flapjack everywhere, spread over a quarter of a mile. Anyway, we're on our way to Shining Clough now, which is the route down. It's a little bit further this way. I'm hoping it's not quite as aggressive as Wildboar Clough that we came up, because I'm starting to get a bit tired now and legs don't quite work how they were doing, so we'll have to see. So here we are at the top of Shining Clough. It looks like it's going to be as bad as the other one, or as good, depending on how you look at it. Saying wish sometimes you could just go 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately you can't. You've still got to get down there. Okay, time for a well-earned cup of tea. That's funny, sparker's not working. Luckily, a few weeks ago I entered a competition on Prepped Nomad's channel for a fire steel, and I won it. It was a personalised fire steel, and it was made by Scott Scooty. So that's great, that's came through the post. So I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but now is the perfect opportunity. I'm not sure, I've never done one before, so I'm not ever so clear on how you're supposed to do it. How you're supposed to sort of strike it. That way, I think. I've done it before, so that's worked up. Yeah, that writing's quite cool on there. So I'd like that put on there. Anyway, yeah, so it was just like that, I suppose. Just have to give it a try.